up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Gang, what's up with y'all? We back. Bro, YouTube been bugging. Hey, so my last video, who was able to... Hold on, let me turn this down. My last video about Derrick James, who was able to watch it? YouTube been out here tripping. Listen, YouTube, I'm coming for you, sweetie. I'm coming for you, sweetheart. YouTube better fix my stuff. Make sure y'all come in SLC, subscribe, like, and comment. Who was able to watch that video? Because some people said the audio wasn't there. Shout out to Isaiah. See, I told you, YouTube, they be trying to hate sometimes. You could watch it on a computer. Like, even I can't even play it on my phone. Man, come on, bro. See, some people didn't get the notification. Man, YouTube got to fix it. Hold on one second. Man, YouTube trying to play with the numbers. What's up? Isaiah was the first person in here. Shout out to Isaiah Felix, Tucker Worthington, James Castro, D. Moten, Death Row East, Believe in It, Steve Mega, Kenya B. Surah, a.k.a. Mohammed. Let's get it. An hour ago. My 4th of July was cool. You know, just kicked it with the family. How was your 4th of July? Everybody in the comment section, how was your 4th of July? Mine was good. Yeah, I keep it cool. Man, there's a lot. Prayers go out to the people in that parade, the 4th of July parade I read about and seen about on the news in Illinois. Make sure y'all put your prayer hands up. A lot of craziness going on in the world. So, yeah, you know, I just keep it low-key on the holidays. There's a lot going on. Shout out to D. Moten. Trying to see what type of lag we have right now. Shout out to D. Moten. Shout out to D. Moten. Trying to see what type of lag we have. Hold on. Hold on. Yeah, I got a new Derrick James video. Make sure y'all try to watch that. Shout out to Italy, my man from Italy. Listen, I just felt like doing a quick live. Was good. Let's do the Boxing Ego roll call, and then we'll get to the proceedings this evening. Let me know where you guys are from. My name is Ego, representing California. Northern California, to be specific, NorCal. Where are you from? City, state, zip. Let me know something. Yeah, shout out to Muhammad Isaiah, Kenya. Let me know where you guys are from so we can get started. Chicago, Garfield Park, boxing in the building. Mo Pressure, what's good with you? Boots up next. They better stop messing around. Yeah, Boots is that boy. Birmingham, UK. Alumric. What's up? Shout out to UK. Hercules, Bay Area, 510. You know it. Nas, what's up? Richmond, Virginia. I see you. Come on, let's get the likes up. We got to get it moving. Hey, I got a question for y'all too. In your opinion, Air Show Sports, my guy Aaron, what's up? I think he out of Texas right now. Shout out to Orlando, Florida, 337, Louisiana, from the boot to the bay, you dig. LA in the building. Shout out to SoCal. Look at he got a no clowns. He ain't accepting no clown stuff. I like that. I like that avatar. Jordan, what's up with you? North Carolina, Jacksonville, Florida. I see you. I got a question for y'all. Has boxing been dry? Y for yes, N for no. In your opinion, has the sport of boxing been dry lately? Y for yes, N for no. Shout out to 410, Baltimore. Big up, big up. Has boxing been dry to you? Kenya B says no. Buck says yes. Let's go. I'm trying to see this. No, no. Yes, yes. No. Oh, hey, y'all all over the place. Man, in my opinion, I feel boxing's been dry like right after, not the whole year. I'm not talking about the whole year. I'm talking about like namely the last month or so. I feel like after Gervonta Davis fought, it's been kind of dry. No, I'm not talking about the whole year specifically. I'm talking more so like the recent last couple weeks. Me personally, I feel like the last couple weeks just been dry. What's the biggest issues or topics? Man, I think because we waiting for the Errol Spence, Terence Crawford. Are they gonna announce it? Now this week should be good. We got Gary Antoine Russell, Max Sayo. Nah, I feel like Tank's fight every that month that Tank fought, and then the Tank fight, it was like super climactic, and then like after that it's been real slow and real dry. Like I haven't really seen nothing. Like for example, me personally, I don't feel like there's a lot of hype between fights that have been announced. Particularly, like let's say Ryan Garcia. What's the buzz for Ryan Garcia, Javier Fortuna? On a scale of 0 to 10, what do you think the buzz has been? Because that's like an announced fight coming up. How is the buzz and the buildup? We'll start with Ryan Garcia. He said crickets. 0, 2. It's been two-tailed tape, Errol, Spence, and Bud, and Haney, Tank. Like, listen, this is on my channel, I do what I want to do. And, you know, anybody else can do whatever they want to do on a specific space. But for me, I'm not really worried about Gervonta Tank Davis versus Devin Haney, because I'm not in the business of wasting nobody's time. That fight is not finna happen next. It's that simple. Like, why should I, King Ego, waste my time talking about Gervonta Davis and Devin Haney? Albeit, yes, it is a good fight. But why should I waste my time talking about it when Devin Haney's under contract to defend all of his titles against George Kambosos? Give me one solid reason. That's why, if you guys look on my channel, I haven't really been talking about that much because I do what I want. And there's a method to my madness. Like, please let me know why I should be talking about that. Like, yeah, it's a good fight for sure. But I don't want to oversaturate y'all with, like, I'm not in the bit. It's like thinking you're going to have all these presents for Christmas and then they just like gift wrap boxes that are empty. You see what I'm saying? Like, I'm not in the business of doing that. Like, if I'm gonna be Santa Claus to the game and get y'all hype, I want to get y'all hype on something that's actually likely or plausible. But like me, I don't really see like, first of all, you got Devin Haney just signed a ESPN multi-fight deal. So that right there shows me that the Tank fight becomes hard to make, because if he just captured the belts from Kambosos and he's locked into a 2-3 fight deal with ESPN, Tank and his side are going to feel he's the A side. They're not going to send Tank to ESPN. Why would they? Adrian, what's up with you? Let me know. Why would they send Tank to ESPN and he the A side? You know what I'm saying? In terms of pay-per-views and things like that. Now, some would argue that Devin's the A side because he has the belts, but I mean, that's not the case, because at the end of the day, Bevo had the belt and Canelo didn't have a belt at the time at 175, and Bevo still wasn't the A side over Canelo. Bill Haney said they would drop the belts. Then that makes the fight even less desirable, wouldn't it? So listen, I get it. Devin Haney did the thing already and he has the belts and he became undisputed. But if they're going to fight, like, okay, first, if he drops the belts, what division would they fight? 35 or 40? That's my first question. Let's say Devin dropped the belt. Okay, then what? So now he's back to beltless Devin, and then he's like 135, 140. What division would the fight happen at? So that doesn't, to me, that doesn't make sense. So Devin's undisputed right now, did a great thing with Kambosos, took all the risk, props to him. I've always given props for that. So he's undisputed at 35. So in order to fight Tank Davis, drop all the belts. What is that? You know, and then fight at the division where there's no belts. You know what I mean? That don't really make sense to me. If you guys can make that make sense, please enlighten me. Lumpkin says Tank is the whole side, the A and B side. Oh, wow. That don't make sense. Drop all your belts. Tank has a secondary belt, and then fight for one secondary belt. Come on, it's not likely, bro. Doc Central, that's correct. He said in boxing, there's always a period of time in the year where we could do nothing but be patient, waiting for negotiations to complete. Sometimes we get impatient as fans. Yeah, we definitely there right now, because I think boxing been kind of dry. But it does that, because I think even last year we had some dry spells and people were like, man, boxing, and then it started coming back with a vengeance. So you're right. It's just a patience game. Hey, I got to see y'all come up and get the likes up. We got to get the likes up. Yeah, so I don't really have too many thoughts on Tank Davis and Devin Haney. Great fight, but it's not going to happen, in my honest, humble opinion. So I can't be bothered and spending too much energy on something that I truly, in my heart of all heart, that's a show me. And then if the fight gets made, then there's just so many things that would have to be backed out of, right? Devin had to drop all his belts because the whole thing is, to my understanding, Kambosos got the rematch clause that was in his contract. So in order for him to fight someone else, he would have to drop his belts, right? Because you're locked into a contract. So again, if you drop the belts, that's one of the selling points of the fight even happening. So if Tank beats Devin, he becomes undisputed, or if Devin beat Tank, he remains undisputed. So then you got the issue with the opposing promotions and locked in contracts and ESPN, Showtime, ESPN 5. It's not likely to me. Ego, how do you feel about Regis Prograis not being able to get any fights? It sucks, to be honest. But we already know the WBC be playing games and catering to who they want to cater to. Bro, WBC looking suspect. That's just what it is. What about Clarissa Shields' fight? Oh, I love him. You know, it's a good card too. Alicia Baumgardner and Michaela Mayer. Let's get it. Haney A side if he undisputed. Reason B, that's what fighting for. That's incorrect. That's incorrect. Bill Haney couldn't even answer directly when he asked about that. Asked about what? Bro, listen. There's many misconceptions about what's undisputed. I mean, not undisputed. What's A side? Bro, if having the belt makes you A side, then why was Bivol the B side versus Canelo? Explain that to me. How come Canelo can go to 175 and fight a champion, a respected champion, undefeated at 175, Dimitri Bivol, and then Bivol had to take less money and give Canelo a rematch clause if he were to lose, which he did, et cetera, et cetera. He had to agree to all that. So how is Bivol the B side? It doesn't make sense because it's not just about who has belts. That's cap. Now, if you have all the belts and the other person don't have no stature, then okay, in that situation, then maybe you're the A side. But it can't just be based on belts because Canelo, he showed you that. Golovkin, you know, when the Canelo-Golovkin fight happened, Golovkin was the B side. No? And if it's just about belts, then what if two guys have belts? Then who do you determine is the B side and the A side? Like Beterbiev versus Bivol. They both have at least a belt. Crawford and Errol Spence. They both have belts or a belt and a belt. You know what I'm saying? So there has to be other metrics in which we're determining who is the A side and who's not the A side. Like, for example, Errol Spence has 3 belts and Crawford has a belt. But Crawford can say, oh, I was undisputed in another division. So again, that's not going to make too much sense, right? Because it can't just be about belts because, okay, Crawford's argument would be I'm undisputed at 140. I have belts in 3 weight classes and I got 1 belt now. You know, so does that automatically make him A side? No. Doc said this is the perfect segue into why Bud Crawford is not signing the contract. He's not accepting the fact that he's B side. Man, listen, I don't know, and I don't want to speculate too much. I hope the fight happens. I'm not saying the fight won't happen. I really don't know what's going on. And again, when I don't know, I don't pretend to. So I don't know what the thing is. There's a lot of different information out. Some people, they're like, oh, FanDuel has the date, October 30th. Bro, I don't give a about FanDuel. Bro, what is FanDuel ain't, like, what does that do? Bro. Y'all, listen. One thing I told you nobody in the world of boxing is going to do is insult my intelligence. You have to have a very high level of intelligence to outthink me. It's just the reality of it. Because I have a memory like an elephant, and I'm not going to just forget what you said. I've done the work for the last several years. I've been in this game, you know what I'm saying, at a high level every single day of my life. Talking boxing every day. Like that's more. Listen, I ain't even gonna front. The amount of work that I put out is in an essence, it's almost more so than some fighters because fighters take days off. You don't really know me for taking multiple days off where there's no content. You see what I'm saying? And that's for the last several years. So that's the reality of it. Fighters have off seasons where they're not even like they go to the Bahamas or wherever and they're not talking about boxing or training for boxing for 2-3 months because they're in their off season. They dedicate their whole life to. You ain't never seen me where I didn't have no videos out for 2 to 3 months. And that's over a span of a lot of time. You see what I'm saying? So it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard. I'm not saying nobody can outthink me, but you're going to have to work for it. You're going to have to work for that because I've been doing this every single day of my life for the last decade. It's like, come on, outwork me. If you can do it, outwork me or die trying because that's your options. Because I'm a mule. I'm a workhorse. I really do this, bro. So I'm not going to forget, bro. Not gonna forget. Make sure y'all come in and smash the like button. What's popping? So I don't want to speculate too much on the Crawford Errol Spence what's happening. It is what it is. But a lot of my prophecies have come true in terms of like people blame Errol Spence and say he was the reason the fight wasn't happening. So what's the problem now? Errol Spence, listen, I'm not going to condemn the man that did exactly what they said they were going to do. Why would y'all want me to do that? Tell me what Errol Spence lied on regarding the Crawford fight. I'll wait. Let me know. See, there's a lot of emotion in boxing and people just yap and say stuff. I don't do that. Why would I couldn't? That's a direct question. See, I ask direct questions and people don't want to give me a direct answer. It's that simple. Direct. Don't get emotional. Say, oh, you're an Errol Spence lover and all this other goofy stuff. Explain directly what I'm saying, a direct response to that. What did Errol Spence say regarding Crawford that he lied about? Like, Errol Spence never said never. Crawford did. Crawford said, oh, I want to fight Errol Spence. I want to fight Pacquiao. They're my two favorites. And then when it didn't look like with Top Rank it was going to go down, Crawford started saying, oh, we never going to fight. Stop asking me about it. That's the reality. There's like videos and YouTube videos that show that. That's not a matter of like, oh, ego's opinion, ego's bias and all. You're not going to just throw that on me. Like I said, if you want to call me out my name and say I'm hating and all that, then there's going to be a fight. Because then you're going to have to prove that you're right. Crawford, like, I don't believe in never saying never. Like, you know what I'm saying? Crawford was the one that did that. He's the one that said, oh, we ain't never fighting. Just drop it. I'm over it. I don't care about the fight anymore. And then now he's supposedly in negotiation with them. Hopefully it happens. But don't tell me about FanDuel, because what does FanDuel mean? They had like betting site, people looking at like betting sites and stuff like that. They had bettings on Leonard Ellaby versus Eddie Hearn as if they're really going to fight. I've seen BoxRec put stuff and then the fight never happened. So it's like, I got to see the actual fight announced by somebody who's involved in the fight. It's that simple. Bro, they literally had Leonard Ellaby versus Eddie Hearn listed as like betting odds, as if you can bet, as if they're really going to fight. When Eddie Hearn says some cockamamie, like, give me $10 million, I'll fight Leonard Ellaby. Ain't nobody trying to say, ain't nobody finna pay no $10 million to see no damn Eddie Hearn fight. Man, stop it. Man, y'all come straight out of a comic book, man. Y'all telling me, oh, again, I'm not saying the fight won't happen. Hopefully it does happen. I want it to happen. So I hope it's right. Like, I'm not praying on the downfall, but don't tell me about no FanDuel and, bro, like all these little betting sites had Leonard Ellaby and Hearn matchup. Bro, that ain't finna happen either. But they play this goofy game. See, like, we're getting into the age of technology and online and internet and clickbait anonymous and clout lords. This is the energy that y'all like. Y'all like all the clickbait. Y'all like the Ryan Garcias and, you know, all the fake titles and the, you know what I'm saying, the stuff that we entertain as, and I'm not saying me because I don't really do it as much, but you know, just all the fake gimmicks and stuff that boxing fans want to entertain that's goofy that you know ain't finna happen. Nah, that ain't on FanDuel, my boy. Yes, it is. Somebody block him. Don't you ever disrespect me. Looking like a discombobulated iced tea. Don't you ever disrespect me. Block him. Somebody sent me the thing that said FanDuel and they had Spence Crawford. So listen, I know y'all want me to be wrong. I understand it. I get it. But you got to come with facts. I got a screenshot of the FanDuel betting odds or whatever. Listen, I run a tight ship. If I'm wrong, I'll be wrong. But you're going to have to prove it. You're not going to prove it when I have it in my phone from fans that sent me the info and they told me and it showed me that FanDuel had Crawford, Errol Spence. And he going to say, oh, no. So, like, that's what I'm saying. If you're going to correct me, you can't correct me with failure. You can't correct me by being wrong. You see what I'm saying? Like, if you're going to correct me, correct me. Don't correct me with falsehoods and lies. So I'm just wondering what's taking so long with the fight. Again, is I don't have a stance on if it will or won't happen, but I'm really getting impatient. I just want to see it because so many people have opinions on it, and so many people are telling you what's gonna happen, finna happen. Show me. I'm trying to see it. I don't want to talk anymore. And again, it goes back to what has Errol Spence stated that you disagree with, that he said something and what he said was far from the truth versus you look at Terence Crawford's situation. There are things that Crawford's team or Crawford stated that weren't entirely true. Like Crawford said, the fight will never happen. Crawford's team said they were going to fight Pacquiao. Who remember? I mean, am I making this up? Crawford's team didn't say we're going to fight. You should get information. Crawford finna fight Pacquiao in June. And then Crawford was signed to fight Errol Spence, which only turned out to be Ugas because Errol Spence got injured with his eye. I made this up? Come on, man. Did I make this up? 4-0. Hold on 1 second, y'all. All right, we back. Yeah, so like I said, Prince Savage, what's up? I just want to see the fight, bro. That's just where I'm at with it. I just want to see it. I'm seeing all these predictions and what would happen. And show me. I want to see it. Hold on. Witt said he better not go down and better go and get a better team around him. Shoot, he better go get a better team around him. Better send promotions. Shoot, he Philly hit up to 70. I don't even know who that is. Who y'all talking about? Make sure y'all come and smash the like button. Man, Errol Spence, he's stayed true to what he said. That's the bottom line. JC, Minnesota, what's up? See, I hold people at face value for what they tell me. Don't tell me something and then it's not what you're saying it is. You see what I'm saying? I'm going to hold you to your word. Team Crawford, they said they was getting... So who remembers that? Bomac had an interview and he said Crawford finna fight Pacquiao. And then they're like, oh, the money was messed up. The money didn't come through. The check bounced. What? And then next thing you know, Errol Spence is announced that he fighting Pacquiao. Like what? We dealing with different things here. Different ways of managing your business and brand. Everything I say is true. I'm the gospel and the unstoppable apostle in all of boxing. Yeah, he said don't sign the contract yet, and then the money and the check bounced and all that, and what? And then Errol Spence got the fight and said hashtag blame Bob. Shout out to Isaiah Felix. Exactly. That's exactly what happened. Exactly what happened. And then the Crawford fans don't want to agree with fact. Like, bro, don't tell me nothing. If I don't care who you're a fan of, you need to be a fan of the truth more than a fan of any fighter. Oh, he's saying Jerron Ennis in Philly. Yeah, that's a smart move. Like Tank Davis got the Baltimore Ravens, and yeah, I feel you on that one. Bro, that's why I don't listen. Like, if somebody has real criticism and it's real, like if someone said, oh, Ego, you got a booger in your nose. Okay, bet. And I look in the mirror and I really got a booger in my nose. I'm not mad at that. I really had a booger in my nose. I got a moco. So it's what it is. They got me. But if you say I have a booger in my nose and I look and there's nothing, my nose is clear, then that doesn't do any, like I'm not, why would I feel a type of way when I know you're lying? You see what I'm saying? Like, you guys have to understand and practice stoicism. You shouldn't be bothered by something unless you know it's true. Deep down inside, you know it's true. So that's usually what happens is if somebody says something and it strikes a chord with you, that's when it usually hurts and makes people react like defensively or negatively because there might be some truth to what they had said. Like, do you think I could go up to Prime Arnold's, like Prime Arnold Schwarzenegger? I'm talking about Mr. Olympia in the 70s. You think I can go to Prime Arnold? Yeah, get down, get to the chopper now, and call him fat? What is he gonna feel about that? If I say, oh, Arnold, you're fat. I'm talking about Prime Arnold, y'all. Hercules, yeah, him the Hercules. Yeah. Hercules in New York, Arnold, where he's brolic and all he does was work out. If I call him fat and say your six pack is weak, would he be offended by that? He'd probably be like, you're an idiot. And then just keep it pushing and, you know, rack up them weights. You can only be affected by that in which is true or partially true, or you believe it to be true. That's why all this bullshit that y'all be saying to me in the comment section, oh, you hate Crawford and all that does nothing for me because I've covered more Crawford fights than I've covered Errol Spence fights. I was rocking with Crawford and still rocking with Crawford before I even really was rocking with Errol Spence Jr. You can't hurt me with it. It's like it bounces. It makes me bulletproof because I know the stuff y'all say ain't true. The only way it can affect you is if you think it's true what they say. If someone says you ugly and you know you ugly, there's a problem. But there's no disconnect with me because you got to know who you are internally. West Baltimore, what's up? Yeah, shout out to B-More. I like B-More. B-More got some real sports fans. So I hope the fight happens though. But I'm going to continue to speak the truth. I don't even know if in this fight, Keith Thurman. I don't know if Keith Thurman will want that, to be honest. Keith Thurman, man, again, I'm not, you got to show me that. It's a great fight, but you got to show me that. He said the first blood fight I seen was De'Aaron Jean a year before I found out about Errol. Facts. That's what I'm saying. Like I really feel Crawford fans, they jump off the deep end in general. You know what I'm saying? Crawford fans, they jump off they take everything, like, instead of, like, my thing is this, you got to listen to what a person's saying and then determine if it's hate, if it's whatever. then categorize it. I feel like Crawford Bud buddies, the mechanism is to jump off the deep end and get combative and defensive when what's being said could be true or is true. That's just my honest opinion. Like, people, oh, you always hated Bud. What are you talking about? When did I always hate Bud? When I was covering his fights and hoisting him up and telling y'all to check for him? How do I hate Bud? See, that's what I'm saying. Y'all can't come at me with no goofy things. Like, it's like I'm Superman, right? And the truth is kryptonite. You can't affect me with something that glows or that's green, but it's not real kryptonite. Does that make sense? Like, listen, if Superman's weakness is kryptonite, you can't just get something that's green, like some broccoli, and say, oh, look, and then think Superman's gonna be affected by it. Because that's not real kryptonite. Crawford's counters are very dangerous. That's true. I mean, my thing is this, Errol Crawford, you could really truly make a strong argument for either fighter. The problem I have is I don't believe that people are gauging the fight based on what they really feel is gonna happen. Not everybody, maybe some, but I don't feel everyone, like some of the, like it's really the people that picking Crawford. They're saying stuff and it's like, did you see Crawford do that recently? And you think he'll be able to apply this to Errol Spence, or you just like wishful thinking? That's the only thing. And then like people are giving breakdowns, and then the breakdowns sound nothing. What they're telling Crawford to do sounds almost nothing like how Crawford actually fights. That's the biggest issue I have. Listen, y'all got to get the likes up. Y'all got to get the likes up. I don't know what, I feel it's YouTube. YouTube been doing little stuff here and there I keep seeing. Like a lot of people couldn't watch my last video. I don't know what's up with that, but we got to get the likes up. See, shout out to Johnny Jones. That's what I'm talking about. Crawford has to fight a perfect fight. That's what I'm saying. Like, my thing is this, people are making it like Errol Spence is just like chopped liver, and it's just not that type of fight. No matter how much you like Bud, no matter how much you like Errol, that's just the reality of it. Bud can certainly win, but so can Errol. You know what I'm saying? So anything, that's why if you guys notice me for years, I'm not like a rah type of person. Just a bunch of hooting and hollering. There's like a method to my madness. I speak with eloquence and like a certain level of understanding. It's not like you never heard me do a 7 reasons and I just said, oh, this person's gonna win, they're gonna kill him. And that was it. Even in fights where I pretty much thought resistance was futile, like Mikey Garcia versus Errol Spence, that wasn't the context of my breakdown. And I gave Mikey Garcia no chance, really. I didn't see him winning that matchup. But I never just said Mikey 187, murder. That's just not what I do. And y'all should know me for that. Ego, do you think Bud can hurt Errol? Silly question. That's a silly question. Of course he can. It goes both ways though. They can hurt each other. I mean, if anybody says either guy can't hurt the other, then that's cap. That's what I'm saying. We got to move from this emotional boxing conversation. Bro, you make a lot of sense. I love both. That's how I am. But somewhere in the mix, because I'm keeping it real and saying Errol Spence has a chance, that turns into me hating Crawford and being biased. So again, y'all can say whatever y'all want. Sugar Ray Leonard said, I picked Mikey because he's Mikey, and he got smoked. He got smoked like Hillshire Farm sausage. There's a strange energy. But like I said, my thing is this. Boxing is full of fakeness. So there's a lot of people that are going to talk the rah stuff, but they're not going to bet like that. And I guarantee you when the fight is announced, if it gets announced, it's going to be a close fight. That's how fake people are. It's like voting almost. It's like voting. It's like back in the day, let's say Trump and Hillary, they're in an election. And then you have certain people that say, oh, I hate Trump. I'm not voting for Trump. But then Trump get elected. Some of them people, they might have said what, you know what I'm saying, said it to you that they wasn't going to vote like this. But when they got in that voting poll for the election, they might have voted different than what they expressed to you. You see what I'm saying? Because there's a level of anonymity when it comes to voting. So people could say, oh man, I hate this president or I don't like this candidate. But then get to the voting booth where no one can see and you got the little, you got the little booth blocking you in. Man, who is this? Get that out of here. And then they're going to vote differently. And that's exactly how this fight is. People say they're not going to vote for this candidate. And then behind the booth, when you can't see what bubbles they filling in, they vote for whoever they want to vote for. I guarantee, watch. That's why it's so much riding on this fight. That's why I want the fight to be announced. Please announce the fight. And it'll prove me to be a god in boxing. And it'll prove me to be 1000% true. Ego, sometimes you too mean, we prefer your kind side. That's what's up, block him. Block him too. MTF, make the fight. Yeah, no new friends. Isaiah know the vibes. Let's get it. So, like I said, make the fight. I want to see it. I got a lot of content I'll be dropping, so make sure you guys check that. I'm about to get out of here. I got some things to accomplish today. So, stay tuned to the channel. We'll be back with some more heat. This ain't Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. Facts. Shout out to Kenya B.